Hey, what's up, my friend? The Kingdom Marketing Superman, Chris Harold here, and welcome to the next episode of the Kingdom Marketing Secrets. Guys, I'm really excited to share this episode with you today, because today we'll talk about something that very few people actually understand. And if you grasp this concept, especially if you are a coach, a consultant, a course creator, an expert, right, and you're offering a service to others, and also the other way around. You're a coach, a consultant, expert, and you're looking to invest, or you should be investing in growing your business. I'm gonna share something with you today that probably less than 1% of everyone knows and understands. But if you get it, it will radically shift everything for you. So check this out. All right, welcome back, my friends. So, hey, today's episode, we're going to talk about ROI versus COI. So if you're checking me out on YouTube, go ahead and do that YouTube stuff right now. Subscribe to this channel, like, comment below, hit the bell, do all that stuff right now. After you press that bell, it'll notify you each time I upload new content, and we upload a lot of valuable content on this channel. So definitely hit that bell so that way you don't miss a thing that we share. All right, but today I'm going to talk about, again, ROI versus COI. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, right, you should by now be very familiar with the term called ROI, right? And what is ROI? ROI is return on investment, right? Return on investment. Matter of fact, let me, I'm gonna do a little teaching with this. So let me share my screen with you. All right, I'm gonna pull out my iPad here. So let's talk about this, all right? So let's talk about ROI, right? We're familiar with ROI, right? What is ROI again? Type in the comments what ROI is. Just type below. Return on investment, right? And most people are quite familiar with that, right? And what is return on investment, right? Well, for example, and I'm gonna give you examples. I'm gonna use myself as examples, like with my Rapid Success System, which is the program that we have for coaches, consultants, course creators, and experts who are believers in Christ, to help them create a multiple six-figure business in 90 days or less. All right. Excuse me, a little bit of water. All right. So that's what that program is designed for coaches, consultants, experts, course creators who are believers in Christ, to help you grow and scale your current business right now to multiple six figures in 90 days or less. Why? Because it's done it for myself. It's done it for countless others as well. So it can work for you if you fit the certain demographic that we look for, right? And you have the right type of business. So for example, I'm going to throw out hypotheticals and then give you examples, because I believe if I share examples and metaphors and stories, you can understand this. Because most people, I would say about 100% of people have heard of this term, right? But I would say only 1% familiar with this. I know for a fact, each time I've shared this with individuals, not one person to date can tell me what COI is. Not one person. If you think you might know what COI is, type in the comments right now. I'm curious. Type in the comments right now if you think what COI is, and then we're going to address it in a minute, right? If you think you know what it is, type in the comments right now what COI stands for, all right? What this stands for. And yes, it's an acronym just like ROI, all right? But type in the comments if you think you know what COI means. Now, I'm going to address that here shortly. But let's go back to return on investment. So return on investment is pretty common, right? Say, for example, one hypothetical, say, for example, you have a goal of earning $150,000 a year, right? Say that's your goal. And say, for example, I'll give you opportunity, and these are not numbers. The numbers can change depending on what I'm going to record. So I'm giving you hypotheticals. So don't go off and say, oh, this is the numbers later on. No, I'm giving you hypotheticals right now. But say this is your goal, right? And say that you want to be a part of my Rapid Success System, my God's Makes Rapid Success System. And I let you know the investment is $15,000, right? So the way an entrepreneur will make a decision, someone who has the right mindset, the right thinking, right? Where you'll be like, okay, well, awesome. What is my return on investment? So if I invest 15K, right? In 12 months, my goal is to be at 150K, right? So my return on investment would be what? 135K, right? My ROI. That's how you would say, well, shucks. And that's what? Almost 10 times, right? A 10-to-1 return on investment, right? So that's how, that's return on investment. We do the same thing. We run advertisements, right? We see, okay, how much do we invest in ads? How much revenue do we generate? Okay, great. We got a 9-to-1 ROI. We got a 4-to-1 ROI. We got a 7-to-1 ROI or a 3-to-1 ROI or whatever the case may be, right? 10-to-1 ROI, right? So return on investment is pretty common, and it should be a way you make decisions. In fact, ROI, guys, I need you to get this. ROI and COI should be how you make decisions. What I noticed that there's a distinct difference between people who are successful in business and people who are unsuccessful in business. A lot of times what it comes down to is the way they make decisions, right? Unsuccessful people make decisions a certain kind of way, hence why they're unsuccessful, and they continue to remain unsuccessful. You can be in business, still be unsuccessful because you're not hitting your goal. If you're not attaining your goal, you're unsuccessful, right? So, and unsuccessful people typically continue to make decisions, right, that they've always had. And successful people typically make decisions in a different kind of way than unsuccessful people do. But ROI and COI are two ways that you should always make decisions, right? And I'll use an example. If it's investing in advertising, investing in coaching and mentoring and training in a program, whatever the case may be, you should always base that decision off of ROI. How much do I expect to earn, right, from this investment? So example I gave you, if your goal is to earn $150,000, you say, well, my goal is to earn $150,000 a year from this investment, and my investment is $15,000. Well, shucks, that's a nearly 10-to-1 ROI. Phenomenal, right? So that should be a no-brainer, right? I mean, it'll be heck, if you doubled your money, it's a no-brainer, right? So that should be a no-brainer. No one should be stuck on that and understand what ROI. So you should always make a decision based off how much, not how much the investment is, right? You should never make a decision on how much the investment is. And see, unsuccessful people do that. Hence why they're unsuccessful. People who, and I see it all the time, people who are struggling in their business, people who are not getting results in their business, they tend to make decisions based off of the amount of this, right? The investment amount. When they should be focused on what? This. How much can I earn from this? Because it's going to allow me to get this type of ROI, right? You should never, how much your investment is should never be where you make decisions on how much you can return. So that's the one way. But let's talk about COI, because this is the way, again, COI, 1% of people know COI. And I might be generous with 1%, because to date, I personally have not talked to anyone, a coach, a consultant, an expert, anybody else who understands COI. I know people who are actually doing pretty good in business don't know what COI is. And so it's very important that you understand, especially if you're a coach, a consultant, a course creator, an expert trying to sell your product or service online. And if you're a coach, consultant, expert, right, and you need to be investing to grow and scale your business. COI, in my opinion, COI is much more important than ROI. COI is much more important than ROI. So what is COI, right? Hopefully you guys put your comments down there. What is COI? COI is cost of inaction. Cost of inaction. In other words, how much is it costing you not to take action, right? Not to invest in yourself, right? Or in Rapid Success System, with our example. How much is it costing you? See, very few people make decisions based off of that. because very few people understand how to make sound decisions. I learned this a long time ago. Your best thinking has you where you are today. So if your goal is to earn $150,000 a year in your coaching, consulting, or expert business, and you've been stuck on $30,000 a year, your best thinking has created $30,000 a year. No matter what you tried to do, no matter who you worked with in the past, no matter what you bought in the past, still your best thinking and also the best thinking of others around you has created a $30,000 per year business. Yet you want a $150,000 per year business, right? And literally, my Rapid Success System could do that because it did it for me. It created me a six-figure business in 59 days, right? So your best thinking has you where you are today. So you have to understand that and accept that, because if you deflect it and say, you know what, Chris, no, that's not true. That's not true. It's not me. It's other people. It's circumstances. It's God. It's timing. Whatever excuse, whatever reason you try to come up with to try to justify your situation, your best thinking has created it. I don't care what you come up with. Until you accept that fact, you're always going to remain stuck. Right? So what you have to understand is this. You got to make decisions based off how much is it costing me if I don't take action now. And only successful people, only 1% of the population make decisions that way. Everybody else make decisions on how much is the investment? Oh, I can't afford it. Oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll do it 3 months from now. I'll do it 6 months from now. They come up with every reason to stay stuck because by nature, you and I are conditioned to always come up with reasons not to succeed. Yes, we are. Why? It's a fall of man. You and I come up with reasons to stay stuck, to stay where we are, and we allow the unknown, we allow fear to keep us where we don't want to be, but we justify it by saying Christian cliches, oh, what God has for me is for me, it's not God's time. We come up with all the reasons to make ourselves make that poor decision and accept them making that poor decision and be okay with that poor decision. Yet deep down inside, you know it's not right. Deep down inside, you know you're yearning and earning for more. Why? Because you should be doing more. You should be achieving more. But you have to make decisions differently, because if your best thinking has you where you are today, that means that you got to make decisions differently, right? You got to stop thinking the way you've always thought to make decisions and start making decisions based where you want to be, not where you currently are. So you ask yourself, how much is it costing me not to say yes? So let me give you an example. If your goal is to earn $150,000 a year, right? You right? We talked about that as a hypothetical example today, right? If that is your goal, is to generate, this is your goal, $150,000, right? $150,000, $150K a year. Say that's your goal. So next 12 months, you want to earn that in your coaching, consulting, course creator, expert business, right? Professional services business. And currently right now, so let's say that's your goal. All right. Let's say that's your goal. And say right now, for $150,000 a year.
Get that. Could you try again?
Uh-oh. See, you're hustling, y'all. Disregard. $150,000 divided by 12. Okay. So monthly, this is $12,500 a month. All right. So let's say that. Okay. This is your goal. But currently, let's say you're earning like $30,000 a year in your business, okay? Which will put you at $30,000 divided by 12, will put you at $2,500 a month, okay? So you want to be at $12,500 a month in revenue in your coaching, consulting, expert business, but right now you're stuck at $2,500. If you tried everything, you tried all content marketing, you tried dinner parties, you tried going live daily on social media, right? You've tried everything out there known to man, VSLs, lead magnets, webinars, right? You tried all these different things except the Rapid Success System, right? You tried everything. You done everything the experts and gurus told you to do. Yet the best you can do is $2,500 a month. And you're frustrated, you're tired because it's overwhelming, it's too much, right? You're going live on TikToks, doing reels. I mean, you're doing, you saw the Facebook groups, right? You try to create a course, nobody wants to buy it, right? You try to write a book, nobody wants to buy it, right? You try to do a clubhouse, right? You try to do all these things, you DM strangers and inbox people and do all this stuff, right? It just doesn't work, right? Okay. So this is how you're going to discover it. So your goal is $12,500 a month right now. So what you have to do is you have to subtract goal two from goal one. So you got to take $12,500 minus $2,500, which would give us what? So it'll be 2 minus 1, $10,000 a month. Okay. So what this means, each month, all right, each month that you fail to get the skills, knowledge, expertise, system, mentorship, coaching, consulting or whatever, each month that you fail to do so is costing you $10,000 a month. Why? Because this goal is realistic for you. This goal is attainable for you. But since you lack the knowledge, since you lack skills, since you lack the expertise, since you lack the systems, since you lack the right mentorship and the right coaching, right? Since you lack those things, you're always going to be stuck at $2,500 a month. And you're costing yourself this. And not just costing yourself this, you're costing your family this, right? You're costing those who you are assigned to, other potential clients who are looking for you right now online, who need your help, who need your expertise, but they can't find you because why? You don't have the right system for them to find you. You don't have the right mentorship for them to find you. You don't have the right coaching for them to find you, right? The methods you're using are not generating the results that you want. But since you chose not to invest in yourself, right, you're costing yourself $10,000 a month. See, people don't map that out, right? People are so prone to put stuff off and be like, I do it 3 months from now, I do it 6 months from now, right? Yet 6 months from now, how much are you costing yourself by not taking action? You see what I'm saying? Say if it's March right now, say if it's March, and you could invest it, for example, $15K to get started on your path to $150K a year, but whatever reason, whatever excuse you told yourself, you said no, right? And you're like, I'm gonna do it, 6 months from now. So what's 6 months from March? April, May, June, July, August. So August comes along, and here's the deal. There's something out there called, I'm dropping some knowledge for you. If this is valuable, let me know, guys. If you're getting value from this, type in the comments. I'm really dropping some nuggets for you guys. And here's the deal. Also, if you're a coach, a consultant, an expert, I got a free training that literally you click the link in the description that'll show you the fastest and best way to get clients consistently online without all the overwhelm and without compromising your faith. People have been blown away by this training. It's been better than people. Some people pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for. It's free for a limited amount of time. Click the link in the description. Go watch this training. It will radically shift and change your life. All right. I was going to put that out there. Go watch this training. All right. It will radically shift and change your life. Click the link in the description or in the comments. You should see that. All right. But let's talk about this. Okay. Let's talk about this. So say you had opportunity to invest $15K to get on the path to change your life and business, but you put it off. And what's going to happen? Time is going to pass. And yet you still don't have the skills, the knowledge, the expertise, the system, the mentorship, and the coaching. Because you can't figure it out on your own because you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. God says, my people die due to lack of knowledge. Ignorance. So you're not going to somehow by osmosis get it figured out, because if you can figure it out, you have it already figured out by now. So nothing's going to change for you financially. Your business is not going to grow. You're not going to hit your goal. but you're going to get older. Time's going to pass. And also something else is going to kick in called the law of diminishing intent. Are you familiar with that? If you're familiar with that, type in the comments. Yeah, I heard that. If no, say no. I have not heard of that. What is the law? The law of diminishing intent. This law simply states that whenever you put off a decision that you should make now, each day that time passes, the percentage goes down of you actually taking action to do the thing you should have done. So in other words, if it's March and you have an opportunity to say be a part of our Rapid Success System, right? If for whatever reason you didn't do it, and you're like, oh, Chris, I'm going to do it 6 months from now, right? You tell yourself that. The law says you're lying. Not me. The law says, because most people who do that don't ever do it. Because the law says the more time that comes in between you, when you should have made a decision to take action, and when you don't, the more time that passes, each day it decreases your likelihood of doing it. And it gets down to like 1% in a couple of months. If you're actually doing the very thing you said you're going to do. I see it all the time. People lie to themselves all the time. The law doesn't lie. People do, right? So if you don't take action when you should take action, regardless of your circumstances, it's the truth. The law says you're not going to do it. And guess what? What's going to happen? You're not going to be able to change your life and get the results that you should be getting if you just say yes and step out on faith and do it. Get outside your comfort zone and do it. Do it afraid. That's what everybody does to successful. We do it afraid, right? Situation will never be perfect, but you got to do it anyway because the law says it. All right. So, but let me get back to this. But what's going to happen? Say if you would have got started in March, and then you begin to learn the skills, you need to in April and May. Let's say in May, we're about at 60 days out of you getting started. Now, like for example, if you're in my program around this time, you should be launching into the marketplace the full Rapid Success System, right? Then say in May, you launch and say you generate about 3K, right? Then 90 days down in June, you're like, okay, man, this is actually working. Then say in June, you generate about 8K, right? Then we hit July, 120 days out, and you do it again, and you generate about 15K, right? And then we hit August, which is that 6-month mark, that you said you were going to get started. But now in August, you actually hit a 30K month. Now, what has happened? Not being very generous with these numbers, because literally, I business in 59 days did over $100,000, but I'm being very generous with these numbers. But let's add this up. 8K, 3K is 11K, 26K plus 30K is what? 56K. All right. So let's say, for example, if you got started now in the month of March, instead of putting it off 6 months because you're telling yourself, I'll be ready then, and you generated $56,000. How much have you cost yourself by not taking action, by just getting started, by doing stuff imperfect, right? By getting the suck out, just by by taking action, you've cost yourself $56,000. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know about you. But I am not in a position where I could cost myself $56,000. And better yet, listen, you cost yourself is $56K, right? But more importantly, you cost yourself $311 a day. Now, are you wealthy and rich enough where you can say, you know what? I don't need to take action right now. I don't need to change my situation right now. I'm okay with losing $311 a day. Maybe you're that wealthy and you're like, no big deal. I'm not. That's why when I invest in myself all the time to grow and scale my business, I don't put stuff off 3 or 6 months later. If I know it can help me, right? I know it can help me increase my revenue. I don't worry about how much the investment is. I make it happen and get it done and take action. Because I know I'm going to generate way more money than that investment I make. I know that because I think differently. See what I'm saying? So are you in a position where you say, you know what, Chris? I'm I don't need $311 a day. My family doesn't need extra $311 a day. My kingdom assignment doesn't need $311 a day. My purpose doesn't need $311 a day. I'm okay with putting it off. See, that's the cost of inaction. Map it out. How much are you costing yourself by not taking action financially? Map it out. See, people don't do that, and that's why very few people are successful. I heard a stat the other day, which was startling. I think it said like only 2% of small business owners and entrepreneurs in America earn $100,000 plus a year in their business. Maybe 1%. I was blown away. I'm like, good night. That's it? In the wealthiest country in the world, you telling me only 1 to 2% of all entrepreneurs and business owners are earning $100,000 plus in their business a year? That's sad. But it's because of decision making for most people. See, you have to make decisions off how much am I costing myself by not taking action. Cost of inaction should be primary. Return on investment should be secondary. Both of these are vital of your decisions. But you got to get to the point, my friend, where you're not okay with passing opportunity. You know, there's an acronym out there called POOR. Have you heard of it? But POOR stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. And unfortunately, people are not successful. That's what they do, right? And they end up poor in their business, right? When a simple yes and a simple getting outside your comfort zone can literally change your life. See, your comfort zone is your broke zone and your stuck zone. No one's done anything significant in the Bible. No one's done anything significant in life and society, period, did it by staying in their comfort zone. So if investing $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 make you feel uncomfortable, good, it should. And if you feel fear, good, you should. But as the Bible said, fear not. God said, be courageous, right? If you don't feel fear, in my opinion, if you feel some fears about investing $10,000 in yourself, $15,000 in yourself, $20,000 in yourself, that's a good thing. And that means that's telling you should do it. Because why? It's new territory. But what's going to happen is this. You attract who you are. So if you want to sell a $10,000 offer, if you never invested $10,000, guess what? No one's going to buy from you because you're not going to have any moral integrity to stand on. You can't ask someone to invest in something you've never done. You can ask someone to pay you $5,000 and you never invested $5,000. You can ask anybody to pay you $10,000, you never invested $10,000, and so on, right? But once you've done it, you can stand with moral conviction and tell somebody, hey, you afraid? I know how you feel. I've been in the exact same place that you are. But I moved and invested and I did it in spite of. And since I did, I was able to generate a 6-figure plus business in X amount of time. And I'm so glad that I did. I didn't stay stuck. I didn't allow my fear. I didn't allow my doubts. I didn't allow my thinking at that time stop me. You say I made a decision based off where I wanted to be 6 months from later, not where I currently was. Because if you say no, nothing's going to change for you. Nothing's going to change for you. So I hope this helped you. Let me know if you got value from this. Now, if you kind of like, oh, wow, I never heard of cost of inaction, but cost of inaction is very important. If you want to change your life, every decision you make got to be based off of cost of not taking that action, right? And one thing I discovered is this. I'm going to let you go. A bad decision is better than no decision. What do I mean? What's the worst that can happen if you invest? Oh, here's a great example. Currently, right now, today, in my program, we offer guaranteed results for our clients, even though we don't have to. But say you invest in Rapid Success System. You invest in Rapid Success System. And say it doesn't work out for you. What's the worst that can happen? Well, with my current program now, there really is no worse because I guarantee results for my clients. But say if I take away that guaranteed results, which it might be by the time we're recording this video, because it works so good, I don't want people joining because of guaranteed results. People only accept into my program that are a good fit, right? That I know I can get results for, right? But even if I did not give a guaranteed result, what's the worst that can happen? Say you invested that amount and it's 10,000, 15,000, 25,000, right? Whatever it is, right? And say it doesn't work out for you. You're in a much better position than not doing it. Why? Because of the valuable lessons they got to learn from, that you're going to learn from. I made investments in the past and didn't get any results from it. I invested $15,000 in this Guru's program not that long ago, and it flopped, right? But the experiences, the things I picked up from it, it didn't turn into a financial result with that, but I was able to flip it into a tangible result with something else. See, a bad decision is better than no decision. Because only worst thing can happen is, quote unquote, you lose your money, which you don't really lose anything, but you lose your money. But let me ask you this. What's the best that can happen by you saying yes? Because you lose your money, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to put you in the emergency room. It's not going to put you in the cemetery, right? That's the worst that can happen. Now, my program, that doesn't factor, right? But I'm going to give you this example. But what's the best that can happen? The best that can happen, right? You can achieve your goals. You can do more good in the world. You can finally, give your family the life that you've been desiring. You can finally, have your business of your dreams. Now, shouldn't you make decisions based on what's the best that can happen instead of what's the worst that can happen? Successful people do. That's how we think. And that's why we're successful. So if you want to get into that 1%, 2% category, you got to start making decisions differently. And what I share with you today is how you do it. So comment below what you find most valuable about ROI versus COI. Let me know the aha moments. Let me know what really stuck out to you. And again, if you're a coach, a consultant, an expert, a course creator, and you are a believer in Jesus Christ, I put together a free training just for you that will show you how to get clients consistently in your business in the fastest and best way today, right? Without all the technical overwhelm online and without compromising your faith. There's a link in the comments, a link in the chat, a link in the description. Click that link, go watch this training. It's up for a limited amount of time. It's better than trainings people pay thousands of dollars for. You're going to enjoy it so much. So click that link, go check it out. And remember this, my friend, you do all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave your comments, do all that stuff here as well, my friend. And remember this, my friend, put God first in all that you do. You too shall succeed. Peace and God bless.